This is going to be a quick video about how to lower the rear end of your C4 Corvette using the stock bolt and also using an aftermarket bolt. Okay, there's a couple of things you're going to need. Number one is a ratchet. This one happens to be a through ratchet, all right, with a 7/8 size socket on it. Okay, got a long breaker bar here with a 22mm socket on it. Okay, both of those happen to fit the top and the bottom nut on this rear end. All right, you're going to need needle nose pliers, and this happens to be the aftermarket parts that I bought. I didn't buy a kit. What I did was I went to Fastenal. Okay, got myself a bolt. It is grade 8, 280mm. All right, M14. You could buy it from Fastenal. It's a very popular application for this. All right, got the bushings. Didn't go with polyurethane. Sorry about that. Wanted to go with the original rubber because I don't want to hear the squeaking. Okay, what I did was I got them. This is the part number right here, SU37-4. Spring cushions. All right, for rubber. It's pretty easy. You can find them on Google, a bunch of places. From Fastenal, I got the washers to match up with that bolt, and nylon lock nut also to match up with this bolt. Now, let's get down to business. First thing you have to do is get your car jacked up. All right, C4 Corvette. That is the factory jacking location. Okay, what I did was I used my floor jack to jack the car up and then bring it back down and rest it on that bottle jack. The reason for that is you need to take your floor jack and use a block of wood or a jacking puck to jack up the rear spring. Okay, this is the rear spring. This right here, this is the bolt that will adjust the height. Okay, top of the bolt is here, bottom of the bolt is right here. Bottom of the bolt has a castle nut on it, okay, with a cotter pin going right through it. You can see that right here, right above it, right here. You see the bushing on the top. You got your bushing and washer and the top of the nut right here. Okay, in order to lower it using the stock bolt, what you'll have to do is take out this cotter pin right here. Leave this jacked up on the jack so you can take the strain of this spring so it doesn't explode when you try to take this nut off. To leave the stock bolt in, what you're going to do is take this cotter pin out, wind the castle nut all the way off, and replace it with this nylon lock nut. Okay, just goes on, threads right onto that bolt. All right, you'll be able to drop this nut down. I don't want to recommend how far down you should go with this, or that you should even do it for safety purposes, but I've read in some forums that some people are doing that. Now, in order to replace that bolt with a much longer bolt, same procedure. You got to pull the cotter pin out, wind the castle nut all the way off. Okay, then this entire bolt right here will come out through the top here. It's a little tricky getting this bushing off. All right, but once you get it loose, you keep your ratchet or breaker bar on top of here, and actually you could just unscrew this bushing by hand. A little bit of a pain, but it makes it out eventually. Okay, I'm going to pause it right here, and we'll pick up when we get the new bolt in. Alright, everybody, so you can see I got the old stock bolt out. Alright, nothing in here. Alright, nothing up my sleeve either. Wow, that was a bad joke. Alright, so here you have your stock bolt, okay, and here you have your new bolt, M14 280mm from Fastenal. All right, I went with the 280mm instead of the 300mm because 20mm or 2 centimeters is not that much of a difference, and the bolts were literally 3 times as expensive. All right, if it turns out I want to lower it even more, I'll just go back to Fastenal and get the 300mm bolts. Okay, so the first thing you want to do when putting the new bolt in is get your bushing right here. Okay, the ones I got, it's kind of like a dome shape. All right, you want this flat bottom with this nipple facing down. see right there, the nipple's going to go in there. Kind of fit it in as best you can, all right? Then you're going to just thread your bolt right through there, okay? Gonna give it a little bit of a push, but it ends up making it through, all right? And you're gonna push that all the way down, okay? And in case you haven't noticed, actually forgot to put the washer on there, so I'm gonna have to take that out and put the washer back on. Okay, everybody, so now you can see I made the correction, put the washer on there. There's your top bushing, okay? Eventually it will push down and seat properly, okay? Coming down, now you can see just how much longer this bolt is, okay? When you get the bolt all the way through, you're gonna wanna put your bottom bushing on. It's going to seat right in here, okay? In order to have it seat as best as possible, you're gonna wanna take this jack and jack it up as high as you could possibly go with that spring. Okay, and I'll give you an example of that in just 1 second. Okay, so you can see the jack is going to be pushed up as high as you could possibly get this spring. Your spring right here should be making contact with your knuckle right here, okay? Once it makes contact with that, do not jack the car up any further or you risk damaging the spring. Okay, now you have this seated in here nice and tight. All you're going to do after that is lower your jack very slowly. Your spring will come down and seat into this washer, okay? I recommend, it's much easier screwing this nut all the way up and then backing it down as you have the jack lowered for the spring to come and meet it. If you're not going to raise the car up from the bottom of the spring too much, well then you could just screw the nut on. What I did was just measure right from the bottom of the spring. Sorry about the sound of that bird here. It is a nice spring day out. All right, and back to it. So you just tighten this nut all the way up as far as you want it to go. Maybe it's a 1/2 inch, maybe it's a 1/4 inch on there, and then you're going to be good to go. All right, have any questions about how I did this, you can just leave it in the comments. All right, hope this was helpful, as this is literally the only video I could think of that will be found online for this procedure. If you have a better idea, I'm definitely open to suggestions for this stuff, as I'm sure there's millions of people out there with more experience and knowledge about this, but unfortunately for me, you didn't make a video yet. All right, guys, so good luck, and hopefully I'll hear from you soon.